Hey everybody, welcome to the Sky Lounge here to review some Vegas Golden Knights action as we win 4-2 against the Ottawa Senators in Ottawa in Pete DeBoer's first game as head coach. Kind of weird saying that, but you know what isn't weird? Winning. And winning cures all. And honestly, all that weird negative energy we were coming in with before this game, getting the news that William Karlsson out for the first time ever in Vegas Golden Knights history, and he will be out week to week with an upper body injury. A speedy recovery for William Karlsson. Hopefully he's all right. And yeah, I mean, you hear players' interviews, all throughout the last 24 hours before this game, and all of it was just raw emotions. Just, players thinking, what the fuck just happened? My world is rocked. I mean, guys like Jonathan Marchessault, who, it's curious because I didn't realize this, and the connection he had with Gerard Gallant, head coach with the Florida Panthers, and that's where Jonathan Marchessault made a name for himself, and head coach with the Vegas Golden Knights. And again, Jonathan Marchessault is more or less the mascot of the squad. And for him to see his coach, his guy, get fired a second time around, I mean, it must be devastating. It really must be for a guy who brought up Marchessault, believed in Marchessault as an NHL player, an NHL player who has thrived and, I mean, damn near plays at an all-star level every season. Man, it must have been crazy. But for the Vegas Golden Knights, there was another huge task to climb up, and another emotional battle. For Mark Stone, who was returning to Ottawa, where he played 6 or 7 years, I believe, with the Ottawa Senators. And the tribute video they made for him, pretty fantastic. Obviously, the run they made to the Eastern Conference Final, Game 7, second overtime, against the Penguins, to lose in a second overtime battle. It's just devastating. But Mark Stone, a tremendous figure in Ottawa, and he did a tremendous thing for the Vegas Golden Knights to start off this game. 34 seconds in, a little fucking pass play with Paul Stastny inside the offense, where Brayden McNabb and Nate Schmidt just delivers this fucking beauty of a puck from our own defense. And Ottawa was sleeping. They were sleeping early, and Paul Stastny netting that goal in 34 seconds in only told me, wow, at least the Golden Knights are responding. They're responding to the firing. And it's curious because the Vegas Golden Knights looked absolutely dominant. They looked like a team that had everything going for them. I mean, they were controlling it. Even when there was a moment, I believe this was in the first period, because majority of this game I actually listened to it on radio. I was actually at the gym. But what I did watch, and I believe this was the first period, Vegas Golden Knights gets on the power play. Unbelievably piss poor puck management to let the puck loose and have the opposition, I believe it was Duclair, running off, skating on its own, solo rush against Marc-Andre Fleury. And Fleury gets a nice little poke check in there. And, obviously Marc-Andre Fleury has been in a dip of form, but this game, I mean, he looked fantastic. He was on it. Of course, I mean, you have to put this into context. The Ottawa Senators were not generating as much shots as the Vegas Golden Knights were. I mean, by the time the first period ends, I mean, the Vegas Golden Knights are out shooting the Senators 17-10. And by the second period, 19-9, where the Vegas Golden Knights do notch another goal in the fucking second period. Mark Stone, out of all people, 18 minutes and 55 seconds left in the second period. A wraparound by Mark Stone. Oh my God. That kind of goal is where you think, man, you see him celebrate. You see the kind of the reprieve, the catharsis that you feel from him, the anxiety of the last 24 hours before the game, Gallant getting fired, the entire team not playing up to snuff, and then coming back home with that crowd behind you. I mean, they'll love you, but you're with the opposition now. They'll eat you up. So to have that goal for him was immense. And it felt after that goal, I mean, more or less this team was going to win it. But of course, I mean, the Vegas Golden Knights have this frustrating narrative of failing hard in the third period. But it started off well. I mean, despite the fact the entire night the Vegas Golden Knights had a bit of penalty trouble, Chandler Stevenson with what I like to call just the goal of absolute grinding. You have, I believe it was Shabbat, poorly just handling the puck in the neutral zone. And Chandler Stevenson, with just a little bit of force on his stick, starts skating away with the puck, and Craig Anderson had no chance. And I felt Craig Anderson really put up a valiant effort. I mean, by the end of this game, the Vegas Golden Knights put up 40-plus shots, if I'm not mistaken. We will check the specific numbers for the goalies. But Chandler Stevenson, absolutely phenomenal. I mean, we think about how these centers have been playing for the Vegas Golden Knights, relatively speaking, throughout the entire season. They've been okay. I mean, obviously, we want a guy like Cody Glass to stay healthy and Cody Eakin to be consistent. But Chandler Stevenson, ever since coming in, has been unbelievable. I mean, every week I'm seeing some crazy-ass highlight from Chandler Stevenson or a goal from him. So for him to get the shorthanded goal was massive. Up 3-0 in the third period. Of course, there is room for mistakes, and the mistake comes in. A goal by Nemestikov, 6 minutes and 50 seconds in, only a minute after the Chandler Stevenson goal. And you begin to feel, okay, it's only 3-1. The Vegas Golden Knights got to tighten shit up. And this is where the fourth line comes in. I mean, I feel like every single line in this game did pretty damn well. I mean, barred from, of course, the Jonathan Marchessault, Cody Eakin, and Riley Smith line, which didn't get the points on the board, but I mean, they were causing a lot of problems for that Ottawa, defense. But this fourth line is where I have to think, wow, well, if the fourth line punches you in the mouth very late in the third period, 9 minutes and 23 seconds in with a Ryan Reeves goal, it's done. It's over. I mean, you have Roy doing just the grimy work right there behind the trapezoid, Carrier with the puck, and then Reeves just finds it in the back. But, of course, the Vegas Golden Knights got to make this a little bit difficult, right? They got to make this a little bit more teeth-clenching, I guess. Connor Brown scoring a power play goal 12 minutes and 30 seconds in, which is a frustrating aspect about this game because as well as we played, I mean, the penalty kill is something that we can still absolutely improve on. I mean, the shorthanded goal, yes, but you also almost conceded a shorthanded goal too. So Connor Brown getting that goal brought a little bit of juice into the Ottawa building and the Ottawa players, but Marc-Andre Fleury coming up big, closing it out, and the Vegas Golden Knights getting their first 2 points for Coach Pete DeBoer. Uncle Pete? Can we call him Uncle Pete now? Like I said, winning cures all. So if he keeps winning, I'm not complaining, right? It's weird. I'm not going to lie to you, boys and girls. It is a weird thing to call Pete DeBoer coach, but the reality is we are where we're at. And before this game, you know where we're at? We're at 5th in the Pacific. Yes, right outside the wild card spot. But there was a general sense of malaise in this squad this entire season, especially after coming off of the offseason where the postseason ended in a heartbreaking way. But to say that, I mean, Gallant was perfect is crazy, but yeah, I mean, the firing was awkward and all, but we got to move on. We got to just embrace the fact that Pete DeBoer is here and believe and hope that we can start winning games like this. In a game where Craig Anderson on the opposition side had such a tremendous display of clutch goalie genes. 39 saves on 43 shots. I mean, come on, man. A 9-0 save percentage on a night where I felt his defense did him no fucking favors. I mean, Shabbat with that shorthanded goal, to me, says a lot. about this Ottawa team, still in rebuild mode. You got pieces like Kachuk in there. I mean, you brought in all these weird bargain sale San Jose players, but the reality with Ottawa is, yeah, they're a rebuilding team, but they got some star guys here. I mean, Craig Anderson has been pretty impressive all throughout the season. But for me, I mean, obviously the goalie that we got to talk about is Marc-Andre Fleury, a guy who hasn't been all that great as of late. I mean, really, this entire season, he hasn't been looking all that great. But to come out after a massive firing of your head coach and deliver a outstanding game, only 2 goals conceded, 33 saves on 35 shots, 943 save percentage, kudos. You dusted off the rust and then you just got back on the horse and just got at it. And I hope for the Vegas Golden Knights, I mean, this is the way things will continue to be. It's unfortunate, again, that Gallant was fired, but it was a wake-up call for the players. And it's something that they absolutely needed. And moving forward, hopefully, they can use this as motivation and keep it going, and maybe a Stanley Cup final and lift the Stanley Cup in Las Vegas. That'd be fucking great. But boys and girls, that does it for me. I believe the next game is going to be tomorrow. Gotta actually double check this. Against the Montreal Canadiens. Continuing this extremely long road trip of 8 games that will continue into February 8th. Of course, you still got the All-Star weekend, so we won't see the Vegas Golden Knights here in Las Vegas for about a month or so, but a win on the road is still great. So let's go ahead and end it there, boys and girls. Follow me at the Sky Lounge and all the links in the description below. Like, comment, subscribe for more daily contents on winning. Now, fuck off.